Maria Tănase, a name synonymous with the soul of Romanian folk song. Known in Romanian popular culture as the queen of Romanian folk music, she wasn't just a singer. She was a storyteller, a living embodiment of cultural heritage, an icon, and a voice which captured the spirit and identity of a nation. Maria's legacy ascended her extraordinary voice. She was a guardian of tradition, collecting and preserving folk songs from across Romania, each melody and story enriched by centuries of cultural exchange. Her performances captured the soul of Romanian folk music, establishing her as a symbol of both national and Balkan heritage. The profound impact she had on the Romanian people was evident in the thousands who accompanied her on her final journey to her resting place. But who was Maria Tănase beyond the spotlight and the microphone? In this video, I will present the remarkable life of this famous Romanian icon, whose legacy continues to resonate through the heart of Romanian culture.
Până când nu te iubeam, dorule, dorule.
Maria was born on the 25th of September 1913 in Bucharest. As explored in my previous video about Old Bucharest, this city once reflected the quintessential charm of a Balkan city, characterized by its many small neighborhoods known as mahalale. In the Balkan countries, the mahala was a type of district centered around a place of worship, a mosque, synagogue, or church. In Bucharest, a mahala was more than just a district. It was a tightly knit community. At its heart, you would typically find a church and a square, serving as the focal point around which homes were built. These neighborhoods captured the essence of vibrant Balkan urban life, where traditions and daily interactions flourished within a close-knit community. Maria Tănase was born in the brickmakers' neighborhood, Mahalaua Cărămidarilor, now part of Tineretului district. This traditional Balkan neighborhood revolved around a church which was rebuilt in the 1930s after a fire destroyed the original. Surrounded by Romanian folk culture, Maria's childhood was shaped by the sounds of workers in her father's garden and the sad laments of the local cemetery, which she later recreated for her parents.
I was born in Bucharest, in the old neighborhood of the brickmakers, with a multitude of blooming trees, loud women, wives of simple working men, with noisy and mischievous children who filled the alleys and gardens. There, in the neighborhood of the brickmakers, I grew up, I cried, I laughed, and it was there that I sang. I have never sung anything other than Romanian folk songs. Coming from the surrounding areas and faraway places to the city, the peasants settled in our neighborhood. With voices sometimes fiery, sometimes calm, they sang songs from home. I learned to sing from them, from my father and my mother. Songs of curse, revenge, revolt, laments, lullabies, and wedding songs.
Maria showed an early interest in music, often singing at family gatherings and local events. Her voice, raw, emotive, and unmistakable, caught the attention of many. However, life wasn't easy. Despite her talent, her family's financial struggles meant that Maria's dreams often seemed out of reach. From a young age, she worked to help support her family. Determined to follow her passion, Maria began performing at local venues during her teenage years. In 1934, at the age of 21, after an audition, she secured the position at the Cărăbuș Theatre, managed by the renowned Romanian actor Constantin Tănase, an actor who, during that time, also had the remarkable achievement of bringing Josephine Baker to Bucharest. In 1938, Maria made her radio debut, performing live on the national radio. Her powerful renditions of traditional songs quickly won the hearts of listeners nationwide.
The young singer, who is one of the most accomplished talents of the newer generations, brings not only highly appreciated vocal qualities but also a praiseworthy pursuit of novelty, the study of folk themes and the preservation of popular melodies, which she does not distort but performs, keeping their original beauty intact. The artist thus creates and enhances authentic folk melodies, particularly the genuine folk song, territories still unknown, misunderstood, or degraded by our usual performances.
Years later, in 1960, at the same radio station, she gave a rare interview where she was asked what is the process of creating and interpreting her songs. To this, she replied,
"In my travels through the country, I seek out and attentively and patiently listen to the songs of the villagers. I then strive to deeply understand the music, rhythm, and meaning of the words. I learn about the customs of the region, and after that, the process becomes quite complex. It relies on observation, focus, meticulous work, and perseverance. I don't perform the collected songs immediately. First, I let them resonate within my heart, and only much later, months or even years later, I share them with others."
Maria's big break came in 1937 when she recorded her first album at the famous Columbia Records. It was on this album where she performed her famous curse song, Cine, iubește și lasă, a song which many Romanians still know today and which showcased her extraordinary ability to blend emotion with technique. Her voice was both timeless and deeply connected to the Romanian spirit. The album was recorded with the help of Harry Brauner, a Jewish ethnomusicologist who is also credited as being one of the experts who discovered and valued her voice. In 1939, Maria Tănase traveled to New York to represent Romania at the World's Fair, marking a pivotal moment in her career. Her captivating performances of traditional Romanian folk music introduced audiences worldwide to the rich cultural heritage of her homeland. This experience did not only bring her international fame, but also solidified her role as a cultural ambassador, connecting Romania's traditions to the global stage. Maria's rise to fame coincided with a turbulent period in Romanian history. The interwar years were marked by political instability and the rise of nationalism. Maria's music, rooted in folk traditions, became a symbol of cultural identity during this era. Yet, her outspoken nature and connections with influential figures, including politicians and artists, often put her under scrutiny. During the Second World War, Maria's life took a dramatic turn. Accused of being a spy for the Allies due to her international connections, she was placed under surveillance by the Romanian authorities. Despite these challenges, she continued to perform, often singing for soldiers and refugees. One important relationship which put Maria under the radar of the secret police was her connection to Maurice Negre, a French diplomat and journalist who served as the CEO of today's France Press in the mid-20th century. During the Second World War, Maurice was arrested by Romanian authorities on charges of espionage. His release was obtained through diplomatic negotiations between France and Romania. These negotiations were successful, leading to the liberation of Maurice and his return to France. It is speculated that Maria, who visited Maurice during his time in prison, also took part in the persuasion of the authorities to release him. According to friends of Maria, Maurice might have been her only true love, among the other lovers which she had during her life.
Back then she was head over heels in love. His name was Maurice N. He and his guests would book a large table at the restaurant every night. That's when Maria's admirers from Bucharest came, but what one must remember is that she did never love anyone as much as she loved Maurice.
During the National Legionary State, a fascist regime in Romania which lasted from September 1940 to February 1941, Maria was denied artistic expression. Entire editions of her records were destroyed, as the Legionary State had banned her songs, partly because of her close relationship with Harry Brauner, the Jewish ethnomusicologist. After the war, Maria faced new challenges. The communist regime, which came to power in 1947, sought to control artistic expression. While Maria's music was celebrated, her independent spirit and connections with the intellectual elite of the former regime made her a target once again. After refusing to work for the Securitate, Romania's secret police, she was constantly monitored. Despite these pressures, she managed to adapt to the new landscape and continued to perform, both in Romania and abroad, spreading the beauty of Romanian folk music to international audiences. Maria's international tours in the 1950s brought Romanian culture to the global stage. Audiences in New York, Paris, and Istanbul were mesmerized by her performances. Despite her international acclaim, Maria stayed deeply rooted in her heritage, always returning to Romania and to her apartment on Popanan Street in Bucharest, where she lived during her golden years and until her final days. In December 1957, Maria appeared alongside other famous Romanian actors in the Romanian-French film Ciulini Baraganului, based on Panaiti Strati's novel. This rare footage is one of the few surviving films where we can witness Maria both acting and singing, a testament to her multifaceted talent. Maria's final years were marked by both physical and emotional struggle, as she faced a severe illness while remaining dedicated to her music. In 1963, she was diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer, a diagnosis which deeply affected her, but she continued to perform despite her declining health. Her performances during this time were poignant, as she sang with a profound sense of urgency and passion, perhaps aware that her time was limited. She also made time to write her testament. Reading it, we can understand her modesty and piety, especially in the last sentences of the testament.
If it is possible and not too difficult, I would like a well to be built on a dry road yearning for water, and instead of those memorial services, which I forbid, I would like a student, either man or woman, to be helped from time to time with the cost of their meals or dining arrangements. And I do not want anyone to be sad. I wish a long and healthy life to all those I have known, even to those for whom I was a burden or who chose to know me as they pleased, not as I truly am. I embrace everyone and wish them a prosperous, peaceful, healthy, and cheerful life.
On June 22, 1963, Maria Tănase passed away at the age of 49. Her death was a significant loss to the Romanian cultural landscape, and her funeral became a public event of national importance. Thousands of mourners filled the streets to pay their respects, underscoring the immense impact she had on the Romanian people. The Romanian state declared a day of national mourning in her honor, a testament to her status as a national cultural icon. Maria Tănase's death left a void in the Romanian folk music scene, but her legacy as the voice of Romanian folk music continues to resonate, both through her recordings and in the memories of those who witnessed her extraordinary talent firsthand. To this day, Maria Tănase is remembered not only for her music, but for her passion, resilience, and unwavering love for her country. She was, and always will be, the majestic bird of the Romanian song.